So when you're gonna pour the tequila?
Whew. I think we're already live, mister.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. Hold on a second. I always make sure that before I say something, it's already
Mm-hmm.
it's already live. Let's check it out. We go on my Facebook, go to Jesus, because it takes a little bit of time to get the whole thing and
Mm-hmm.
go live. And all right, we are actually live. Okay, let me get my notes here. Mr. Chat GPT. My cousin,
Yeah.
my new cousin.
I'm gonna create a new one. Call it Nap GPT.
Hey, I love that. I love that. Hey guys.
How's it going?
Woo! Happy Saturday, guys.
Yes. Great
Welcome
Saturday.
to episode 3 of H-Town Unplugged with two of the sponsors. That's one of the tequila right here, Mr. Blue Barrel Premium Tequila, Blanco Tequila. Freaking amazing. We're going to take a shot right here in about a couple of seconds. And the second sponsor here, where I work at the brokerage, Vive Realty. And today's been freaking fantastic. Yesterday was my birthday, September the 19th.
Happy birthday, brother.
Dude, I'm still going at it. It's like a whole. I said, man, I'm gonna take the 11 days left of September. Why not, right?
Keep celebrating.
And guess what? I turned 40.
Amen. It's a blessing.
40, and to me, turning 40, I learned from yourself and from all of these other the right people that I'm surrounding with. You know, it's like this is your new beginning.
Yeah.
39 and below, whatever the mistakes and you have, hey, cut it. It's done. 40 and up, it's what you're gonna make now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it makes me so excited because I'm like, things are falling into place.
Yes.
And it feels great because I took my mom, we went to lunch and my mom was like, man, I know that we've been hard on you and stuff like that.
Right.
But like we were talking about it just a few minutes ago,
Yeah.
the more you push, the more, no matter what, if there's negative or positive, you're like, this is me. Either you get a job or not. It's like, you gonna make it happen or you're not gonna make it happen, right?
Yes. Depends how bad you want it.
Right. Depends how bad you want it, right? And I haven't gave up. And you know me, it's like, you always wanted to do videos. Things went wrong. Things weren't right. A lot of things.
And look at us now.
And look at us now, man. Look at this. Fantastic. Enjoying wearing the color of you, Mr. Ghonda.
Exactly. We're matching.
We're matching.
You got the
Yeah.
blue, so.
We didn't even call it. I didn't even call him and say, hey, let's wear blue. And guess what? I mean, today, look, before we even got here to sit down, we were shooting some videos
Yeah.
for Mr. Ghonda for his YouTube channel.
Yes.
So we've been working.
Mhm.
We went to breakfast. We had a great talk. He was working on the Google slide, freaking learning about Gemini.
Yeah.
And then we got here, video went good. And then it was like time to roll. And now it's time to go to the show. And I'm excited to be here. So let's take a shot, man. Let's take a shot before we even start.
Yeah. Let's get it
Let's
going.
get it.
Yeah.
Yours
Pour out
is-
a shot.
Yep, I already poured it. Yours
Uh-huh.
right there, sir. So salute.
Thank you.
Salucita. Salucita to every single one of you. And for every single one of you that told me happy birthday. And for the ones that are still telling me, I think it's about 250 people now.
Nice.
Like crazy, right? And like, blessings. Thank you guys.
Appreciate the love.
I appreciate the love. Woo. But we're going to get into a lot of stuff that, not for me, I wanted you to know from Mr. Ghonda, Mr. Napo Ghonda. And let me tell you a couple of the bullet points that we're going to talk about today on this episode. How Napo balances the demands of running a fitness franchise, you'll learn, while building a consulting investment business, the strategies behind Ghonda Legacy Investments, helping clients with digital marketing, business consulting, automation, and investments analysis, lessons learned in business ownership, the wins, the failures, and what's next. How to evaluate investment opportunities and build a legacy, not just a business.
Wow.
Woo! And
So,
that's a lot, right? That's a lot, but you're gonna learn a little bit of all of it that I said there, and more of like how he built himself. Like before we even get all into it, I want the audience to know just a little bit of your background, where you came from, like if you were born here, were you born in another part?
Yes. So a little bit of my background. So I was born in the Congo. So I came to the U.S. in 1984 when I was 6 years old. So I say by now I'm Americanized since I've been here for so long. So, but I learned a lot, and it's good actually. I feel um, coming up from different cultures and being exposed to a lot of different things. Um, you do see a good amount of what's going on and what is actually driving people, right, to be able to build a life,
Mm,
right? And I feel even at a young age, I was entrepreneurial, even some of the stuff by accident, right?
mm,
Because I would pick up some of the stuff because even from my parents, they would bring stuff from back home over here to the U.S. because there's always certain things that like we have in the Congo that's not here, and other people want that, and vice versa. There's stuff here, and bringing back home. So I feel that that exposure already to business and that hustle was something that drove me to see yes, there's more than just a job. And one of the things that's funny, I was just talking to my kids about this recently because my daughter was doing something. And then I was like, oh, yeah, my story about when I first started, I guess my little business is that I don't know, 12, 13, 14.
mm,
Like I went to the stop and shop, I was on my bike and, I picked up, a little blow pop for like 10 cents, right? And I go back to the little cul-de-sac where we live. We used to play football and whatever. And I had it, and one of my friends was like, "Oh, can I have that?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll give it to you for a quarter."
mm,
And he's like, "Sure." And he gave me a quarter, and I was like, "Oh,
mm.
okay. I just bought that for 10 cents." And then so after we were done playing, I went back and I got myself two blow pops and still had a nickel. And I was just like, "Oh,"
Mm.
and that's where actually part of the hustle started because my next business is that when I was in middle school, yeah, so I was in seventh grade, I started selling blow pops in school. So I was go to BJ's wholesale. My mom used to drive me because at first I started at the Stop and Shop. So I was buying them 10 cents and sell it at school, 10 cents and sell it at school. And then my mom start whenever she would go to BJ's, it's like a Costco,
Hmm.
right? She would go get stuff for the house. Okay, I have my money. I got my blow pop, so I was now buying it in bulk so I could get a better margin and sell it at school. So
Man, that's crazy.
yeah,
13,
so
14.
yeah, but that's how I feel that I got started a little bit in business, right?
Mm.
And a little bit of that hustle. So yeah, so
Did you see that around your house? Like your dad and mom, that it gave you that? I know that it was to
I
use.
saw it, but and they also supported it,
Huh.
right?
Okay.
Because like I said, I was going to at first riding my bike, and then my mom's like, "Yeah, okay, well, if you want to do this, yeah." And I said, "Okay, yeah, I want to do this," and went and I started seeing, oh, you can buy it in bulk, and yeah, she was supporting it. Right?
Hmm.
Because even I used to start getting in trouble at school. I would get detention because I was yeah, because the kids weren't allowed to have gum. The blow pops had gum, and yeah, but it was part. My parents understood why I was getting in trouble, so I wasn't getting in trouble at home because I was trying to be
Yeah.
entrepreneurial,
Yeah.
right? And that's where I'm saying it's like
Hmm.
they supported that, right? Because it was still something positive that I was doing, right? So
Is that what you see right now, like on the world we're living in right now, that it's kind of hard for some other parents, like the kids come in. You see a lot of kids that are, all of them have their own creativity, and then kind of some parents. I'm not giving you like a hard on the parents that are watching, but
mhm.
like like you said, your parents support it. Like now, some of days I see it myself. I know you see it, that they don't want to see and support it. Like they just kind of want their kids to do this instead of them. Like,
Well, every child is different, and you
yeah.
need to understand them and what they need, right? So
Mm-hmm.
some need more guidance and structure, and some, you know, it's different, but you need to also take the time to study them and understand what is going to help them make the best life for themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that's the key,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because yes, sometimes it may be something that a path that they're going down that you may not understand. But if it's going to end up in the long term bringing fruits to their life, be there and support them, still give guardrails, right? And but so at least that they're still going in a direction to be able to have a good life, right? But if their path is going to be drugs and
Oh
right, if
yeah.
it's destruction,
No.
that's different, right? But if it's like, okay, well, I want to do, let's say, because right now we know a big thing is influencers and content creators and stuff like that. It's like, okay, yeah, if that's what you want to do, okay, show me how you're going to eat off of that,
Mm.
because that was my thing as a parent is like, yeah, I want you to have a good life. If that's something you can do to build your life and live your best life, great.
Hmm.
But don't stick to something just because it might be it's what everybody else is doing and you
There
think
it
that's a
is.
good thing, right? So to me, I think especially with the younger generation or even just in general, even for myself, success comes when you can connect something that you like to do that adds value to others.
Hmm. That's damn. And another way is to like everybody throwing success, like the word. What is the definition
Hmm.
or what is success for you? I myself think like success is what you make it. You.
Yeah, it is to a certain degree, but that's where I said it has to add value to others because a
Mm,
lot of people say follow your passion.
mm,
But if your passion is digging a hole and nobody cares about that hole, it helps
mm.
nobody,
That's very true.
right? You're not going to eat
Yes,
off of that.
that's
So
true.
you have to connect the things that you want to do
Hmm.
with what adds value to people.
So I think we're throwing around. Do you think that we're throwing that word passion around? I know it's a word that it's your passion, build it, but maybe like not that we're throwing it around, but like not explaining it enough to how like oh yes, my passion to do video, this and that. But like you said, is it gonna fit me?
Yes. And I think it may be, it needs to go a little bit deeper because passion, I think people say it's like follow your passion and what it is that you like doing,
Hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that's where you have to go a level deeper in
Hmm.
that, especially if you want something that you're passionate about and that you like doing to be something that you eat off of also,
Hmm.
right? Because let's
Hmm.
say you might enjoy gardening and that might be your passion,
Hmm.
but you may not do it at a level where it'll pay you for you to live.
Ha,
That doesn't mean don't do it,
that's true.
right? You can still do certain things, but there's still the reality of you got to eat and do certain things. So understand the things that you're good at so that you can still enjoy your life and do some of your passions,
Hmm.
right? So, but the things, the passion and that being tied to career and how you eat, I think maybe that's where it needs to be disconnected,
Hmm. I like that.
right? Because to me, I feel the career and the work you do, it's just vehicles. It's just tools that you use to help build the life that you want.
Hmm. You elaborated really good, not too long, and explaining it like
Hmm.
kind of like separate them and feel like okay, it's my passion to do this, but like let me just circle back around that. Like right now, say I'm kind of trying like it's me. I want to know that I want to let people know as well. Let's see if you think about the same, like how we everybody's pushing out, all entrepreneurship and this and that. Me and it's not easy.
Hmm.
Me and it's tough, and me and even if you're still doing good, we're still gonna make some mistakes and fail, lose
Hmm.
clients and all of that.
Hmm.
And there's new people starting to start entrepreneurship, but they're kind of guiding from other people kind of wrong. Like they just want to quit their job and start and thinking that, oh, I can do anything I want. But now I see it myself. I did it myself because I had no guidance.
Hmm.
Like I jumped out and let's go
Hmm.
because it was like it was my time. God was telling me.
Hmm.
But now when people ask me, because somebody asked me, what would you do if you start again? And I said, I will not quit my job.
Yeah.
I said, I will not quit my job. I know I
Hmm.
did it, but if I go back, I think I will build 70% of my income, and then from there it was like okay, it's paying me that
Yeah.
call it
Exactly.
passion, okay,
Hmm.
that hustle. Now it turns to a business.
Yeah.
I tell them to do that now. Then
Yeah.
then I just jump out.
Yeah. But right there, you've learned from experience, and now you
Mm,
can guide others on that path,
mm,
right? And you're, at least from the point that you're making, I think that's 1,000% correct. In that, going back to like I said, you want to, it was certain things you want to make sure you can eat,
yeah,
and even
yeah.
if you do have that new idea, a new thing that you want to build, you want to get it to a point where it can sustain you, right? Because yeah, it might be a great idea and different things like that, but you know that bill is not going to get paid on. Yes, I
No,
hope this
it's
next thing is
not.
is going
No,
right. So exactly. So
no. Oh man. So let's get back to that 13, 14 Gonda. What was
yes.
that next step after you kind of like, huh? I can make money out of this. I can do that and this and that. What was that next step that Ghonda said, okay, now I'm 15, 16. What were you still leading that way in entrepreneurship, or your mindset went through another way?
No, it was, I guess, I saw it and I learned it, but being a kid, it's being a kid. So it's,
Hmm.
I did always have little hustles and things like that here and there, but I had so many jobs because I even had like a paper route. I was like
Oh,
delivering
cool.
newspapers before school. Like, I worked at McDonald's, I worked at Burger King, like through high school. And then, even in college, I was delivering pizzas. I worked at a call center. Like, I was always like working and hustling. So I always had that grind, but it wasn't always, you know, entrepreneurship or building a business and things like
Mm,
that, right? But it's one of those things that I think it is a mindset, but it took me time to really figure out and develop what is it that I want to do that makes sense for me,
mm,
right? Because yeah, some of those ideas and things like that were great. Because even when I was in college, there was different little things of software. I was like, oh yeah, this is a great idea. You started, but then you don't really finish it and
that's
things like
true.
that. So, yeah, because I went to school for computer science. So yeah, so wanted to build and develop and you know different pieces of software. But then it was always like, all right, how do I build something that can provide residual income?
Mm,
Right, and that was always the challenge, right? And even to say with websites or software projects, you build it, it goes, you build it, it goes, you
mhm,
build it, it goes, right? But to be able to sustain yourself, you need to be able to have things that would be able to, as we get, speaking of business, that can have consistent revenue,
yeah,
right? So that you can plan and grow your business
yeah.
and scale. So as I guess I was growing and going through certain things, yeah, there was stuff that I was doing, and it helped me learn along the way to be able to get to a point where I said,
Mm,
okay, this is what makes sense for me.
mm,
Right? Going back to like what I was saying, it depends on what you're good at that adds value to other people.
that's true.
But it took me time to figure out what am I good at and that I actually enjoy.
So through those times that you were like leading and guiding through college and going through entrepreneurship and all those jobs,
Mm-hmm.
was somebody that you saw through the fitness? Now we're gonna get into like how did you saw Hotworx or before Hotworx, the fitness, like, okay, I see, like, I see that route, like.
Well, I didn't see fitness as a business before, but fitness was always part of my life.
Mm,
Right? So coming up, always doing sports, and like I said, even
mm.
like when I was doing the blow pop thing, we'd be out like with my friends, like on our bikes, playing football in the like tackle football in the yard. We used to play kill the carrier. You throw the ball up, and somebody catches it, runs around, and whoever has the ball, everybody tackles. And when that person's down, you just throw. Like yeah. So with sports, we'd ride our bikes, play basketball for hours. So I was always into being active. I played sports in high school and stuff like that, and even in college. So all that was always like a part of my life, right? And then I got exposed to Hotworx, and when I tried it, I was like, "Whoa,
Mm,
this is great!" Because even at that point, I was actually looking to real estate and wanted to get into real estate and investing and stuff like that and studying that. But then I did a workout, and like in that 15-minute workout, I felt like, I just did like 3 hours of football practice like I did when I was younger. I was like, wow, the way that I'm drenched and sweating, I just felt like, wow. Like, and then when I started to understand the science behind it
mm,
and how it could help people make them healthier, I'm like, oh, I can actually build a business that helps people and I can eat off of it too.
mm.
That's right. Exactly. So it's like the motive is helping people.
Helping
So
people.
that's where I was understanding this, and I was like, okay, I could do real estate, but Hotworx is a new thing, right? And it's growing and stuff like that. Let's get into it, and let's see what comes from it. So,
Because that's how I met you. I remember I was working at a daycare right there in Fulshire.
yep.
And then I myself was like, okay, I don't feel too good in my body.
Hmm.
I need to,
How
find a
many
way.
years ago is that?
Man, that was
That
before COVID. That was still before COVID.
exactly. I was about to say 2019 or something
Somewhere in
like that.
2018, somewhere around
Dang,
there. But
dang.
but but before where I want to make I don't remember how, because I know that where did we met? And then
No,
like
I think it was around there, yeah, because I think we were talking, and you were saying and talking about like going back to video and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
You were reaching out and saying, "Hey, do you need this content and this or whatever?" And that's how we started a conversation,
Mm.
right? And then,
Oh,
yeah,
and you invited me to go right. Hey, coming
yeah,
over. Yeah, I
exactly. And then
remember.
we started talking and things like that. And I think that's where, um, going back to that drive and that go-getiveness of something that you want. For example, you wanted to do video and you're starting to reach out and talk to people and things like that. But now, because of you stepping out and doing, moving towards what you want, look at our friendship and a relationship. How many years later?
That's true. It's 2025 now.
And
We're
now
going
we're
2026.
making money together.
And we're making money together.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
so true. We kept our relationship. We kept it.
yes,
Yeah, there were some times that maybe we
hmm,
were both busy and doing stuff,
yes,
but the relationship never went away. It
yeah,
was still there.
yeah,
And that's just beautiful about like you guys that starting to build relationship with other business owners or partners and stuff like that. Keep that,
hmm,
because it's beautiful.
yeah,
But make sure that you're surrounded with that right person. Because I mean, we all went through it. I know you went through it. Somebody backstabbed us, and we thought there was somebody that was gonna
yeah,
help us, and it
yeah.
ended up not being that way.
But that's part of life, not just business. There's always going to be,
Yeah.
you know, bad actors. But the thing is that, like you're saying, you want to keep the good people around you. And I think it starts with you yourself being a good person,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you're a good person and the way you move is to look out for other people and to take care of people, then the good stuff pans out and that takes care of itself,
That's
right?
very true.
So yeah.
And then like I remember like right after that I tried it. I loved it, and then I went in and joined.
Hmm.
And then it was tough. I remember it was tough for me. I was like,
Hmm.
holy crap, 15 minutes, but I came out super sweaty. And I
Hmm.
was like, nah, this is it. Like, I was like, I remember I told you, like, man, I went to all these different gyms
Hmm.
and I put in an hour and a half and I never like sweated.
Hmm.
In here, I sweated
Hmm.
and I still took some time to do something because you have the weights and you're able to
Yeah, exactly.
utilize that as well.
Hmm.
And now I'm even more consistent on it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, to your point, being consistent is the key,
Mm,
right? Because even for me, like I owned Hotworx, but I think it took me 2 or 3 years before I was actually consistent.
mm.
And then once I started being consistent, you can look at my charts. I think, and you could look at the pictures. I was about like 220 at one point, and then I started being consistent, and now I go, just about 5 days a week, and I dropped all the way down to 185 pounds,
Mm.
right? So, but now I already have my routine. I know when I do this, I do this, I do that. This is how I maintain my
It's like
healthy
your
lifestyle.
lifestyle.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how I tell people don't. Everybody wants to like, oh, I gotta get a strict diet and stuff like that. Depending who the person is, but I'm like, if you build a lifestyle around you that you don't have to leave. Oh man, I love burgers. I love this. You don't
Mhm.
have to leave it. It's just figure out your lifestyle, how your body works.
And
Everybody's body works different.
yeah, and I think sometimes people make it more complex than it needs to be,
Mm.
right? So it's like eat healthy, so don't eat crap all the time,
Mm. Mm.
right? Get your heart rate up regularly.
Yeah.
And that's the cardio and stuff like that, and lift heavy.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
true.
really like those are
The
the
three
the thing
things.
exactly. So if you keep those principles, right? And I notice whenever I'm not doing those things, that's when the weight starts to go up.
That's true. Ah, that's very
It,
true.
it, seriously. And then when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch what I eat. I'm gonna get my heart rate up at least, regularly, at least five days a week, and then throughout the week, I'm at least lift 3 or 4 days a week.
Hmm.
The body starts regulating itself, body fat goes down, and all that stuff.
Boom. Then
Yeah.
we met. You had Hotworx. COVID happened.
Yep.
I still the bro. I never forget.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I remember I went and I was excited to go, and then you had the little note. Oh,
Hmm.
it's closed because of this thing
Yeah.
called COVID and shit. And I was like, what's
Hmm.
going on? I want to get my workout.
Exactly.
What was that? Did it? I mean, everybody hit different, but did you see something different that to yourself that it hit hard through those
Oh
times?
yeah, it was definitely a challenge because there's everything's shut down, no income's coming
Everything.
in, but even the landlords still want to get paid. So it's some of those things that really becomes challenging for a business. So, um, but thank God we're still here
Yes,
years later. But it's, I think, a credit to the business partners and even the managers and the team and the staff at that time that really, help make things happen and help us get through those tough times because
that's true.
it wasn't easy for anybody.
Oh
And
no,
it's,
no,
once again, with, when you talk about having good people, it's
yeah.
that's
Oh
part of
yeah.
the that's part of the success because people is think, oh, you're in this business, you're that business. No, we're at the end of the day, we're in the people business.
We're in the people business. That's true. So what when after you had Hotworx, all that happened, COVID, and then everything went back. I don't want to say normal, but everything
Hmm.
changed different, right? And then you're like, I think I can open the second one and the third one.
Hmm.
Was it that you were ready to do it, or you just like, I know that I need to have a second one and a third one?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both in that, we saw the growth and also the demand in Hotworks in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was one of those things in that as it's growing, people are getting more interested and we wanted to continue to be able to have more market share,
Mm.
I guess you could say, within the
Expanded.
area. Yeah, exactly.
So you chose the location because I know
Yeah,
location
yes,
matters.
location matters. So we definitely did choose, and so yes, we definitely reached out to or looked out for areas from with good demographic and that was growing,
Mm.
right? Because even now, you look at Fulshire, look at all the construction over there,
Oh yeah,
and
man.
now it's like tough even to get to the
Oh
studio
yeah.
because of all the construction over there, right? So that's where we looked at placing some of those things. And how many new high schools are over there,
Oh man.
right? So it's
Yes.
continuing to grow, continuing to build. So you do want to look at, you know, where that is and where the demand is, and then you go there. And if there is nothing else like that that's adding value to people, it's an opportunity to bring it in there.
That's why
So
the second location. Sorry to
around
cut you off.
Aliana,
That's
yeah.
Aliana.
Mhm.
And was that something that it took you time to be like, okay, this is the next location that I see grow?
Yeah, because once again, because I think that one was maybe a year or so after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the time to find the location and things like that, so that it would not be too close to the other one, but still in an area that's growing.
Yeah.
So those are the things that you want to be
And it
strategic.
is. I seen it because I've
Yeah.
been through all of them, and I
Hmm.
said Aliana is in a good spot. I see that it's still growing. A lot
Yeah.
of businesses. I know a lot of businesses are shutting down, but as some shutting down, some new ones are coming out.
Yes.
And
So
then the third location. This is the one that it's been not. I don't want to say struggle, but it's been like you're
y-
still figuring it out on
yeah.
that
So
location.
the third location. So that one.
Katie Green, right?
Yeah. So
Yes.
that one is you don't want to really say older part of town because Katie's continuing to grow, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
right there between I-10 and right down I-10 between Katy and Houston. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a good amount of traffic. So it's definitely an area that needs it and it's growing. But I
Oh yeah.
feel that also around there, there's a lot more competition because it is an older place. So you definitely have to work more to grow that. So I think it's just a part of business. And depending on where you go, there's always going to be
The after we talked about
competition.
it, obstacles too.
Yeah, obstacles. But the thing is, that means you're doing the right thing as there's competition because
Yeah.
other people are
Oh,
in a similar
yeah.
space.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I seen like through our relationship, people that been there with you,
Hmm.
people that been gone, people
Yeah.
that come back,
Hmm.
and things that go right and wrong. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's part of life. And now the new group that you have, I mean, they're younger, but you
Hmm.
see it, they're hungry, they want to learn.
Yeah.
So that's good, and you keep, and it's still growing. So now
Yeah.
they want to be there
Yeah.
because I met them and I can
Hmm.
feel the energy,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, this is the right person.
Yeah. No, and that's the one of the keys. I was about to say the key, one of the keys, but it's having the good people, right? And then when you have good people, then you want to invest in your people and you want to work with your people and grow with your people.
Hmm.
So that's part of my philosophy as a business owner in that I want to keep growing,
Hmm.
but then I also want to keep my people growing with me.
Yeah, and
And
I see that.
yeah, and I tell my people at some point you're going to leave me because nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
But the way I'd like for you to leave me is that you get to a point where it's too expensive and I can't afford
Then
you
I can
anymore.
afford you. Yeah, you told me the same thing. Yeah, I
Exactly.
know.
Right. I'd rather it be that way than me fire you for doing something stupid. So let's work
Yes,
together so that you can grow and we can grow the business and everybody eats. And then it gets to the point where like you want more and I can't offer you more and great.
that's
And
great.
I think that's, you know, at least for me, a good principle and it's been working so far.
So I know we talked last time a little bit of you like acquiring a Ford location.
Mhm.
Is it still in that path or?
Yeah. So there's a few that we're looking at, but right now, looking to get things a little bit more settled because we're putting in new structure, new
Mm-hmm.
leadership around all the studios. So I think it's a matter of timing.
Mm.
So, of course, we'd definitely love to continue to grow. But once again, in business, you got to think through when is the right time,
Mm.
right? Because even with Ghonda Legacy, there's opportunities to grow, but we
Mm.
have to set down the structure and the foundation so that we can support the growth,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't want to grow too fast and not have a good infrastructure because then things crumble, right? And those are some of the things that right now, the kinks that we're working through on how to manage at scale, right?
Mm.
Because I it I don't want it to always be me that has to drive this and drive that, whatever.
That's
So
true.
now there's procedures that we're putting into place to help manage things better. And then as I see that that machine is working well, then I feel like, okay,
Let's go.
we should, if this system works well, then now I feel we should be able to plug and play just about anything there.
Hmm.
So yeah.
So I know you had a partner before, right? So now these three locations are actually yours, or did you buy them out, or still
Yeah.
partners? Okay.
So
Okay.
um it's still there. So basically, yeah, so I'm driving all three locations now.
Okay.
So it's been great. So like you said, we have new people, new staff, and the growth is there, and it's, you know, one of those things that, like I said, good to have people, because I wouldn't have been able
To do that.
to
Yeah.
do that or get to where I'm at without the partners. And now it's like, okay, the next phase, at least for me, is how I'm looking to bring things together and using GLI to help support, or
Mm.
Ghonda Legacy,
Mm-hmm.
for people who don't know what GLI is, to help support the things that I do with Hotworx, right? So now this becomes the engine on how I can do a bunch of different businesses, right? Because that, now that I can have a management team to help from here to actually help manage not just Hotworks, but other businesses and entities that I'm working through, right? So I have some other partners and other things that we're working through
Hmm.
that, like, so now, but now I'm going to use the team from GLI in a similar way that I do support for other businesses
Yep.
to help support the execution across
Man, we
the
were
other
right
business.
when we going right into like how I wanted it to be. It's crazy. It's crazy because sometimes that doesn't happen. Because we're talking about the gym and you're talking about GLI, and I was like, how did that? I was GLI first born between before Hotworks.
You can
Oh,
say yes and no, because I've
okay.
always, because, and you talked about entrepreneurship, because there's, you know, I was always doing a little consulting or building websites for people or
Mm-hmm.
doing this and that. And initially, it was just straight like websites and software,
Mm.
right? And then it was after, you know, got Hotworks going, I actually used some of the money from Hotworks to, and that's why I said it was good to have Hotworks and the partners and stuff and that growth to be able to get a little bit of capital to start
Mm.
GLI for, because I had other stuff, but I was like, no, I need to do something else to rebrand. So I used some of that capital to start a new LLC. And then initially, like, the idea was, okay, only wanted to do, let's say, SEO, because that's one of the things that I'm great at. And a lot of people say, okay, do your forte, do your one thing, right? Only do this, but then use the capital for that to actually come and invest in real estate, right? So that's actually
Mm.
how it started. But then once I started working with people and helping with SEO, then business owners like, oh, I need this, or I need that, or I need this, I need that. Or I was like, or these are the things that I would tell them to do for SEO, but they wouldn't be able to execute because they
Mm.
wouldn't have a graphics designer, they wouldn't have a web developer, they didn't have these resources to do the things that I was telling them to put in place. So that, and going back to like we were talking about before, when you start something, you can start and
Oh
fail.
yeah.
But then I learned that, oh, okay, in order for people to get things done, they actually need these resources, and I know where to find some of these resources. So now, okay, when I'm going to give you guys the feedback of what it is I need to implement, okay, if you don't have the people to do it, okay, I have the resources to do it. And then now, okay, I see, all right, you have this other need, all right, hey, now I can build that service and build that service. And that's really how
Hmm.
it started growing more, because I was really seeing that, how can I help businesses do better business?
Hmm.
Really kept it that simple. I just simplified it. How do I help businesses do better business? I come in, understand what your challenges are, and consult, and then you grow from there. And then now, that's what I'm saying. It brings things together, because now that's the heart, or even where I'm going to take that and also help it be the engine to help drive Hotworx or any other initiative that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that becomes the one thing. And if people come and bring things to me, because now, like I said, even another deal that I'm in, like it's the business that owns 25% of that other corporation.
Uh-huh.
Because and then now instead of me doing the work because I don't have as much time, okay, I'll say, okay, I'll get this person, this person, this person from my business. Since I own a part, now they can work on this project, and now the profits and revenue is going to go back to GLI, which makes it different for when I'm going into something and to invest. I can say, okay, yeah, you may not have all the resources to make it happen, or you may not have the people, but I have the people in the team. That's sure I'll take a part of ownership, and then it makes it different on when you come into a deal like that. So
Hmm.
yeah.
That's crazy because like you said, it was in between,
Mhm.
and now are you putting like the umbrella to be like because we talked about a GA, I mean
Mhm.
Ghonda Legacy Investments,
Mhm.
and that's what's gonna be feeding the what's it called, the fitness growth.
So basically, the way it's going to be structured is basically Ghonda Legacy Investments is basically my parent company, right? But
Mm-hmm.
now, let's say with the studios, right? So now I created another entity,
Mm.
Burnex Capital, which Ghonda Legacy owns. And then that's going to be the company that manages the studios, right?
Mm.
And then that's exactly. So now this is going to be the holding company for this and do the management. But then when it needs support,
Ah.
it'll invoice this company. Okay, I need this for this. I need this for this. I need somebody for maintenance or whatever. So this is going to be the management company that says, oh, okay, you need X, Y, and Z done. We'll get it charged here. Okay, if we don't know how to do it, then we'll go find the other resources to get it done.
Mm.
Right. But then that, like I said, becomes the management entity for the businesses and the studios. And like I said, once I get that really rolling and going, that's when I feel I'll be able to continue to add other studios in there. So I'm setting up that management structure.
And it will add more LLC, or that same management will take care of it.
It's a series LLC, so that same management. So basically, the way it is, so that like it'll be like just basically add a different number because it's basically the same
See,
business, but for each different studio, then it'll be just a different number in the series.
my next question: is it hard for somebody to? Doesn't matter what franchise is a Hotworks or McDonald's. Everyone is different, right?
Mhm.
But is it hard for somebody to actually they're like I want to be a franchisee for them to start, or do they have to go through like did you go to school? Not I don't want to say school,
Well,
but
with every franchise, it depends. That's what
mm-hmm,
I would say, because every franchise has, certain qualifications that they
that's
look
true.
for from a franchisee, right? So I think it depends what you want to get into, but I think just about anything that you want to do, there's a price to pay,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I don't know if it depends. It's all relative,
That's
right?
true.
Because if it's, let's say, some people want to do a Chick-fil-A franchise, I know for Chick-fil-A you have to work at a certain one for a
You
certain amount
do
of time and
two
all that
years
stuff,
there.
right? And that might be hard, but if you see that the benefit is going to pay off, people are willing to do it, right? So the
Hmm.
thing is that I think when you want to get into franchising or some of these kind of things, it's a matter of doing your homework,
Do your
and
homework.
then are you willing to
Yes.
pay that price that it's going to take to actually make that happen?
Yeah, because you always see all these social media and talking about, oh, it's not good to be a franchisee and this and that. But you always gonna hear the hate for somebody or
Well, yes, and that's true, right? And I understand why they say that. Because even one of the things, like, I remember as I was getting started, I think it was last year or the year before, like, one of the things that people were saying, oh, starting a marketing company is one of the worst things you could do and all that stuff. And I was just like, oh, crap. A lot of the stuff that I'm doing is marketing.
mm,
But that's what's actually growing the most right now.
yeah, that's true.
But it's growing because at least the reason why I think is because I'm taking that time to understand and continue to grow and get better and understand what the needs of my clients are and how do I continue to add value to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel you can get success in just about anything. And it goes back to what we were talking about before. If you tie what you're good at to what adds value to other people, you're going to get to success.
That's true.
So it may be that, okay, video is something that I love to do, right? And this is how I can do it to make it successful, and this is how I can offer it to people. Great. And I think even now people are fearing things with AI and stuff like that. But guess what? And there's going to be a new thing that's going to start, or
Mhm.
other things are going to come out. But understand what it is that you're good at and how you can add value to others. And then now it will become that next source of income, or that
Hmm.
you'll always be able to bring in revenue, right?
Revenue,
Because
right? Yeah.
I forget where I heard it, because money, it's not actually income, it's outcome,
Mm.
right? Because it's the result of what you do to add value. Income is really who you are and what you have and how you actually bring things out,
Hmm.
right? The outcome, the thing that comes back, is the money that you get from the actual transaction. Because if you didn't add value to that other person, they're not going to give you any money.
They're not. No, that's true.
Right. And it's really like, if you think about it, that's the outcome of the situation. What you're putting in is your effort, your energy, and the things that you actually, bring value
Damn,
with.
that is so true.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
I
it's a little countercultural.
Yeah, no, I know, and I know it's I know it's I wanted to for you guys to know a little bit about behind that,
Hmm.
the franchise and knowing how he did it, because there's people out there that they want to learn that,
Hmm.
like, oh man, who's managing that? It's like you just explained it. That is managing the Ghonda Legacy is the big one. So if they need help or
Hmm.
replenishing or adding money or investing, that one is feeding.
Exactly. Yep.
It's feeding. So
Hmm.
that those are very important, because a lot of people ask that or see other videos and they're like, "Ah, it's too much." But when you sit down, you can teach somebody else that stuff.
Yeah.
You
And
could.
it is a lot, but you need to think through the structure,
Mm,
right? And I feel also, start small,
mm,
right? You don't
yes,
have to jump into anything big. Start small, figure out what works for you, and go from there.
and that's a fact.
Hmm.
Because sometimes I remember when I started seeing things and you're like, oh man, now I understand. You see social media
Hmm.
and you're seeing all these Instagram and they got the plane and the Lambo. Most of those people, they don't even have, they're renting this stuff
Hmm.
out. They just, not every single one of them, but some of them are just a facade. They're selling, and you in your mind is like, how the hell can they make it? They're just like me.
Right.
And then you, in your head, you buy it off into like, why can I make it? I've been working it so hard, and look at them. They said 3 months and they're making it six figures and stuff like that. Sometimes we see that it can be false.
Hmm.
So you have to have that eye opening and be like, there's things that they're not what it seems to be.
Right. The way that I approach that is that, what is the vision that you want for your life?
Mm,
How do
that's
you see your life 10, 20, 30 years down the,
long term.
right? Because that's somebody else's vision,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, what is my, and that's the vision that I go, and that's how do I create that, and what I want. How do I create? Is it the, traveling around the world? Is it growing old, with the grandkids and doing that? It's like,
Yes.
what is that? What does that look like? And yes, there's people that post on social and do all that stuff. That might be some people's vision and dream,
Hmm.
right? And if it's the dream and that's really what you want, some people can do it in 3 months, some people do it in 10 years.
That's true.
But if it's really what you want, take your time and work towards it,
That's true.
right? But don't let somebody else's vision become yours,
Yeah, it's
because
very
then you start
important.
living somebody else's life. And then you get mad because it's not matching up to their life.
Yeah, you can't compete with nobody else. I don't know who I heard of. Somebody told me,
Hmm.
he's like, "Hey, Jesus, they're in chapter 8 of their book. You're in chapter 1. So how you wanna?"
But it's a different book.
Yeah, that yeah,
But that's the other thing. That's what I'm saying. We can't compare, because there might be a horror story, there might be a love story. That's what I'm saying. It's a different
it's
book,
a different book.
right?
Yeah,
But the thing is, but what, like they say, a lot of things that people show on Instagram, whatever, it's a highlight reel.
there we
So
goes.
right, because it is, right. So we you I wouldn't just say, yes, I'm on different pages of a book, but it might be a totally different book. What I'm
Mm,
writing and the path that I'm on, and the things that I want to design and grow for myself. Yeah, okay. Oh, that might be interesting. I might get some insights and say, okay, there's this piece, Y and Z, that was good. Okay, I'll grab that information and see how I can apply it and see if it works for me.
hmm,
right? Okay, I can take that nugget and learn from it. Maybe I plant and see, okay, if I do this, I do this, I do this. Okay, yep. Okay, what I learned from them works. Okay, great. Oh, what I learned from it didn't work. Okay, then trash it and move on,
Hmm.
right? So, and that's where I guess, like I said, that's how I handle it and I approach it, because there is so many are so many influences and so many things out there that try to move you this and do that, and it's like a little bit like we were talking about earlier. People need to take the time to sit down and decide what is it that they want out of life, and does their life look like,
Hmm.
versus, okay, you're being sold this, you're being sold that, you're being sold that, but have you taken that time to sit down and think through, what do I want for me?
Damn, that's very true. Not for nobody else, but for you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how long it takes, but see it, like they say, this the tunnel vision for you.
Mm-hmm.
Obstacles and not everything is gonna happen. That's why sometimes I understand. I was like, the things that I can't control, those are things I'm gonna worry about.
Yeah.
Things that I can't control, I'm not even. I don't care.
Yeah.
I can't control that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us as humans, we like so hard headed, and we just kind of wanna go through the whole thing. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, don't let the day control you. You control the day.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's always circumstances and situations that we have to deal with, and it's not always the best situations that you find yourself in. But like you said, there's only certain things that you can control. You can only control you and how you move,
That's it.
right? You can always decide how you show up. You can always decide whether you're going to smile. You can always decide how you're going to treat somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean like they may not have pissed you off, but that doesn't mean you have to return hate with hate. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
You
Yes.
decide,
Yes.
right? And that's where, the way you show up, I feel, really makes a big difference.
Hmm. Wins, failures. All right. Do you want to talk about some failures that you have through your life? Because I mean, that's a lot of
Failures.
people.
Who has time for those?
Because a lot of people don't like talking about failures, and we all go through them. And sometimes I'm like, we showing all these people in social media, or if I'm having coffee with somebody,
Mm.
and I'm just talking about the wins. But I want to show
So
you the failures that make me get into that win.
yeah, so I think you only fail when you don't learn from an experience,
Or maybe,
right? So one of the things, like I was talking about before, when I was starting, I lost clients because, like I said, I was trying to only do SEO, but they couldn't. Like, I
okay.
lost contracts because of that, and it took me time to learn. Okay, I can tell them, I can tell them, I can tell them, but they can't do anything. So now they're not going to pay me for consulting anymore, because at the end they're not getting results.
Hmm.
I had to go through that and learn that, oh, okay, I have to do things differently. Their business at the end of the day, yes, okay, SEO is really great. That's what I want to do, but they need traffic now. So if they need traffic now and I can do SEO, okay, I know if I turn on Google ads, that's going to get them traffic now. So I need to learn at least how to do the basics of turn on Google ads so I can get them business now. I know SEO is going to help them more 3, 6, whatever months down the line, but they need this now so I can actually do this, right? So it took me actually doing those things and saying, oh, this didn't work. And then I learned, okay, now this is how I have to do things differently. And that's where it's like, it's not just about the successes, but yes, there's going to be certain situations that aren't going to go your way.
That's very true.
So, yes, so that's an example of a failure. But then if you sit in there and say, oh, okay, that didn't work, and I could have stopped. I could have said, I want to do this is all I only want to do SEO. I only want to do this, and people don't want it. Okay, and I can't find good clients that only want this. Okay, I'm not going to do it
I'm not
anymore.
gonna do it anymore.
No,
No, that's very true. In fact,
exactly. I figured out, okay, what are the needs for my clients, and what are the things that I'm actually good at and I can do. Okay, I know how to put together structure. I understand business. I'm a business owner myself. I understand online. I've been working online. I've been building websites. I've been doing all that stuff. I understand how to make it work. I understand how to lead teams. I understand how to grow people.
hmm,
And those are things that I actually enjoy doing.
hmm.
And people need help in those things.
Yep, yep.
Now that's the business.
I want to talk about these last two things. If you are still watching, I've been hearing true about this, right? and you know it because you love it, what you're doing about the business. And when you're a business owner, entrepreneur, we're operators because we're operating it. So sometimes I'm like, I've seen some TikToks or other business owners say, yes, when you're working on the business, you're in the business and working. So you're not a business owner, you're an operator because you're still. It's like you were working for somebody for 8 to 5 or 9 to 5. You're in it.
Hmm.
So to be out of it and not being an operator and actually truly being a business owner, you have to, like what you're doing, expand yourself and use the resources of somebody. Somebody's doing your edit, somebody's doing this, but you're not actually in it, you're behind it and
Right.
seeing the bigger picture.
Hmm.
So to see to so actually you can scale, because I don't think if we're in it too much, how are we going to scale if I can't get out and see the bigger picture.
Um, there's phases to that,
Mm.
right? Because even when I first was starting doing GLI, I was doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing this, I was doing that, and then it took a little time to actually start to do, because there's still a lot of things that I'm hands on with, but it's a process,
Mm.
right? So you, as if you're the business owner, that's the operator. Yeah, okay, you probably need to keep working on it, get it to a certain point. Then you have enough revenue to say, okay, now I can hire one
Mm.
person to do
Mm-hmm.
this part that, you know, first of all, that's part of the business that has to be done, or I don't like, or I'm not great at. No, that makes sense,
Yeah.
right? So, because if you're good at X, Y, and Z and you actually enjoy it, focus on those
Focus on
things. So,
those.
let's say if you're a business owner and you don't like your accounting and stuff like that, now you have enough money to pay, bookkeeper 100 or 200 bucks a month. Okay, do that.
Do that.
Now that frees up your time to continue to grow. Okay, now
Mm.
you go to the next thing. Okay, hey, what's this part or whatever? Can I hand off to this person and keep running? And you continue to iterate through your business processes, get to the point where you're not actually hands on a daily basis. But it's a process, right?
That's very true.
Because you're still a business owner, but it doesn't mean that you don't run a business, right? Because there's a lot of companies, yeah, you lose a CEO, it might stop running, but it takes time or to get to the corporate level where it's like everything's running. You look at those big companies, it took them
Oh yeah.
years to get to that level. So
Yes.
yeah.
Is it tough, for I know we're gonna get to a point ourselves where like now you're actually getting close to maybe a middle and you're like, I need a CEO, I need a COO. Is it because I see it now through other businesses that it's tough for them to be like, damn it. Okay, now I'm like, I don't need to be here, but I need the best of the best CEO.
Well, I don't know if that's where I'm gonna go at least anytime soon because like I said, I actually enjoy what it is that I'm doing and I'm growing. Um, I have been bringing in more people for leadership
Mm-hmm.
because as I'm scaling, I do need more people to actually
Yes.
drive and right and run the business. So for um, that kind of leadership, I think I still have some time before I get there, but right now I feel it's like at least the vision with me is that well, at least with Ghonda Legacy.
Got it. Yes.
I don't know if that because that's still always going to be my baby.
Oh yeah,
And then
yeah.
and then within the other organizations, probably do some C-level executives. But right now, it's still like I said, getting the structures and getting those things going. And at some point, you know, continue to have growth and management teams in the different organizations. So, but like I said, to
Not
the
yet.
other piece is that when you start operators. Um, at the operator level, right? You have to start there and then get it to a certain point so that you can, scale and elevate and bring in those other people. So,
And it's depending on, I guess, on that person, because I seen people that, like you were saying, I'm not ready, or I don't know if I get to that point, because there's some people that they're fine where they at and they're still scaling. Like you say, I'm still building leaders,
mhm.
so they're scaling, I'm still in it, but I feel
Right.
good.
And that's where, for example, Ghonda Legacy, my idea is, I want to use that company to build, like it says, Ghonda Legacy, like uh, be able to build the structure where I can grow my portfolio of businesses
Mm.
and things like that through there, right? So at least with that, that's where I'm like, the vision and where I want that to take, that's still in here,
Still
right?
in there.
So
Yeah.
there's still a lot. So I'm not ready, at least not now, to just
I
hand
know.
that
Yeah.
off to other people because going back to the vision. There's still some more things
Yeah, that you're still
in
processing
the
it still.
vision, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But with, like I said, as I go in with some of the other entities or some of the other things, like let's say I own 25% of this or whatever, whatever. Yeah, I'm not even in the leadership. I just, provide the resources
Mm,
to help make things go, right?
mm.
Or other people own the business, and I'm like, okay, I'll bring X, Y, and Z and do this, whatever, and then I get a cut, right? Because in some cases, like
Yeah.
I don't actually want to be
Running
like
none of that.
no,
No. If I gotta just
no, I don't want to be running, but I know that I can add value. Then I'll come in and add value,
hmm.
right? And then I get my cut from when I add value,
I
plain
seen
and
that a
simple.
lot. What you're going like what you just said right there that
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people like, yes, I still running the baby anything, but have I can invest like and I get just a cut from other
Mm-hmm.
either new companies or somebody an entrepreneur that you're
Yeah.
helping them,
Mm-hmm.
but you still know either it's quarterly or monthly. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, look, I'm receiving 25% of that
Yeah.
company is growing, but I saw their vision as well. So
Yeah.
that's good. I've been seeing that a lot. And it's like, okay, at least it's an investment and it's coming back.
Yeah, because
Because if they grow
it's
so
better to get
much,
25% of something
then
versus
nothing.
100% of nothing.
Yeah, Elon Musk. I don't know if it was Elon Musk or somebody said that they're like, it's the pie. I don't want to own the 100%. If I can just only 1% of that, 1% of that, 1% of that, I'm cool with it. Oh, JC said that.
Mhm. Yeah, as long as you have different things that are bringing in revenue and cash flow,
Mm-hmm.
and that's I guess the at the end of the day, that's key, right? Are your efforts and the things that you're doing bringing in cash flow to be able to sustain the life that you want, right? So going back full circle, we talked about life and vision and that kind of stuff. Like whether it's a job or going back to operator or business or whatever, one, are you enjoying the things that you're doing? Is it adding value to you and to others? And does it help you, bring to fruition the life that you want?
That you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's man, I love it. This end for the people that are still here. What what does Ghonda see right now of everything that is happening in the world? And we talked a little bit about it when we were doing the video, like
Mm-hmm.
the hatred and the killing and the undivided
Mm-hmm.
and things that are just wrapping up too fast in the world. I know 2026 is coming. Not yet. I would say, man, you got to worry about today.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about tomorrow. But I know a lot of things are just rapidly just, and you see it and you feel it. There's like a frequency of energy.
Mm-hmm.
You're like,
Yeah.
there's something that is not right.
Mm-hmm.
Either you believe in God or don't believe, but your mindset, your consciousness feels something ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
So how you feeling about this couple of months turning? We got 3 more. Well,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much 3 months
Yeah.
because October is around the corner.
So my thing is, yes, there's definitely, stress in the air. I think it's across the world, but
Yes, across the world. Yeah.
it's going back to some of the things that we were talking about, right? I feel people need to focus on what can I do here with the people around me?
Mm.
How do I show up and add value and be nice to my neighbor, right? If you start there and if people think like that, like, okay, in every situation that I'm in, how can I bring a smile,
I can bring a smile.
right? Just as simple as that.
Man,
And think about how much that'll change how we interact with people,
a lot.
right? And also, I feel the other thing is that we need to be able to take the time to dialogue with people and listen to people without judgment,
Yes, without judging.
right? Because then, that'll allow people to be able to share ideas and share thoughts, and we grow from there, right? Because I'm far from perfect. I know that I don't know the answer to everything.
Mm-mm.
So to be able to, like I said, or like you were saying, is like, whereas the outlook, my thing is more what can each of us do? And you talked about before, the only thing, how do you focus on the things that you can control,
You can
right?
control. Yeah.
Because I can't control the whole world.
No.
I can control me. I can show up how I show up with Jesus. I can control how I show up with my family.
Yep.
I can control how I show up with my neighborhood, right?
Yep.
Am I a positive force? Am I a positive influence? right? Am I bringing positivity on a regular basis? And I feel right now, especially with, the tone in politics and stuff is very divisive,
Very divisive,
right?
man.
And people are quick to jump, whether it's
Very
one
fast,
side,
bro.
no, whether it's one side or the other. But it's like, how do we live together better?
Yeah,
If But and I bring that back, and you asked about the world thing, but it's going back to the business. It's like those are the principles that I'm doing in my business that's helping it grow.
mm-hmm.
When I interact with clients, it's like, how do I help make their business better? How do I help them grow? How do I help do this? And by doing that, then they appreciate it, and then they refer me to the next person, and then they appreciate it,
That's
and then
true. They
refer me to that
prefer.
next person, right?
Yeah.
And that's been growing, and you get blessings from that.
Mm-hmm.
And there are certain principles that you can apply. It's not just in business, but in life,
That's
right?
very
There's
true.
principles that help you win, and we've talked about that in the past, right?
Yeah.
If you have a principles based life, success is going to come from that because okay, when I do this, X is going to happen. It might not happen right away, but if you're consistent with what it is that you're going to do, if you do this, do this, do this, these are the results you're going to
Isn't
have.
there a book about it? The principles on Ray Dalio or something like that? This you
So
talk about a
Ray
lot about
Dalio
principles.
has the principles. There's also Jocko Willing, discipline equals freedom. That's another
Tell
good
me
book.
about that
So
one.
that yeah, so there's a lot of things that when you start to take structure and you put those in place, then you actually start to see the results, right? But
Yeah.
even there's other books like Leaders Eat Last or whatever. There's other
Mm-hmm.
things that talk about mindset and how to approach different things and just how to approach life. But at least for me, the greatest book that's had the most influence on me is the Bible. Because at the end of the
Yes.
day, a lot of these principles and things like that you can find are straight in the Bible. So if you take that time to look at it, Bible, basic instructions before leaving
Basics.
Earth, right? You have all the information there. So if you actually take the time to look at it and read it, the principles are there.
Yeah.
And then people just
Genesis
take
and
it, and the problem is people don't want to read it because they don't like the spiritual aspects. But take the time to read it and learn it.
yeah. And it's I talked about that I think a lot with my mom, and I was like, um, because about church and stuff like that. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I go back to her and it's like, well, Jesus came over here. He didn't come to build a church. He came to build the people.
Mm-hmm.
So we are the temple. We are the church.
Mm-hmm.
We're living in a system where everything that we see is being created by men,
Mm-hmm.
not by him, not by God.
Mm-hmm.
So the churches and religion, it's me. I'm not saying not to believe. You believe whatever you want to believe, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, if I have faith and I believe in this and I believe in that, I believe in God. That's what Jesus got here. What he did for us. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't come here to be like, hey, you gotta be a Presbyterian or you gotta be. No, that was man-made.
Yeah, and I think once again, look at the principles,
Mm-hmm.
right? The way Jesus spoke is about servant leadership. But if you take that once again, that's a principle that you can use in business.
Mm-hmm.
That's a principle you can use everywhere in life. But the things you have to take that time to understand it and comprehend it, right?
Yeah, very
And
true.
going back about being positive and changing the world, taking care of your neighbor, showing up and being nice, being that light.
That's it.
And those are, like I said, it's the same principles from there. So if you take that time to learn it and figure out how to take that and apply it,
And apply it.
you could win at life. So,
And it's true
mhm,
because it's just sometimes a simple good morning. I've seen that. I've seen sometimes that when I go to the park or walk or if I'm working at Hotworx and I said to somebody good morning,
mhm,
they look at me. It's like, oh, thank you. You were the first person that said. It's
right,
make somebody smile.
yep,
And that was I just said good morning.
mhm,
And sometimes there's times that when I'm at the park and I say to somebody good morning, good afternoon, they don't say anything back. I'm okay. I'm
yeah,
not mad at them. I
yeah,
said it because it came from
because
my heart.
exactly, right. You can't give control of your emotions to other
No,
people.
no, and that's another thing too. The
Yeah.
emotions
Mhm.
and logic,
Yes.
like it's part of business because ourselves. Oh man, I like that backpack and emotion.
Mhm.
Whoever did that, it was good marketing, good sales.
Mhm.
Boom, you buy it because it happened to me. I know it happened to
Mhm.
everybody. 2 3 weeks later, I'm like, I didn't really needed it. But now as being on this side as a business owner, you're like,
Mhm.
damn, they know what they were doing.
Yep.
It's not their fault. I'm not even gonna blame them.
Mhm.
The emotions got into me, and it was just bye.
Mhm.
And it's like the same with when I do the podcast and stuff like that. The emotions get. But me now, I see it's like I tell them, yes, you feel happy and everything that you want to start a podcast, but wait, I want to talk to you first
Mm-hmm.
because I just don't want to make sure that I want to do because everybody wants to start one. And I sit and I turn a lot of people. I tell them, no, I don't want to work with you,
Mm-hmm.
not because the money is good, you're gonna pay me, but I can feel and sense
That they're
that you're
not
not
ready.
ready.
Yeah.
So prefer you to start something that is a long term
Right.
because people want to start
Because you
and then
truly
just
want to help them.
2 months
Yeah.
and they're done. Then don't start.
Mm-hmm.
If you, now I see it myself because I'm looking to things as decades. Like now I'm 40. I'm like from 40 to 50. I'm on a disrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm ready. Like those
Mm-hmm.
because I'm thinking of a decade, 10 years.
Right.
So now for me, I see it when I talk to other business people, people that are ready to start their podcast. I'm like, don't think about it as months. Think about it as decades, as a 10-year gap.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about what you can accomplish in 10 years and all of the things that I'm learning through
Mm-hmm.
the things that are coming in AI that I can apply into you and your business and you
Right.
can grow.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're sitting, I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
'Cause if you say I just want to do it for 3 or 6 months, I don't want to work with you
Right.
because everybody and their mama was want to do content. So now you're back to zero.
Right.
And
Right.
then
Right.
you're gonna be blaming me because I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, this and that. I'm like, that's
Right. Exactly. You already told them that it wasn't going to work.
it
Yeah.
wasn't gonna work.
Yeah.
But it's good to talk about this stuff because there's other people that are starting a business or probably in the same way as us,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, no, but they're gonna pay me $5,000 a month. But it's not about if they're paying you 5, 10, 20, or 30, but if they're calling at 1 o'clock in the morning to be like complaining and this and
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't we talked about the stress, you remember?
Yeah.
I don't want to add more stress. I want to decline the stress.
Right.
I want to work with people that they know you're working and they're not bothering you. You're
Mm-hmm.
delivering and over delivering, and they're cool with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Be able to structure it in a way that's successful for everybody.
That's successful for everybody, and
Yep.
it's a love and learn. I mean, love and learn. Like just learn through the process, and
Yeah.
it just automatically works for you,
Mm-hmm.
man. But any last words that you want to throw out there, for entrepreneurs and family members, and
Well, it's really, I guess the last word is, vision.
mm,
I guess maybe three: vision, mission, and driven.
ooh,
Have a vision of where you want to go, determine your mission, and be driven to achieve it.
damn, repeat that because I'm gonna write it because that's
I already forgot it. I just made it up. I
oh
just
man,
forgot it.
that's I'm like over here counting with my fingers, but it makes totally sense. Because you do have to have a vision. Everybody can have a vision, but if you're not disciplined and you're not
Yeah,
determined, it ain't gonna happen.
exactly. Vision, mission, and driven.
And if you don't have the drive, then you're not gonna able to start doing it. And that's anywhere.
Yeah.
Family, business, or you work for somebody, it doesn't drive you, then call a Tesla. So
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah, because you have to have the vision of where you want to go. The mission is going to tell you why, and then the drive is going to push you towards it.
you're gonna push
So,
you through it.
yeah.
That's smart. So see how simple it is. And if you don't buy by those little three simples, and then that's like, okay, what's going on? What's wrong with me? And then you'll know from there, like, okay, what do I gotta fix on me,
Mhm.
on myself,
Mhm.
not to blame nobody.
Yeah.
Because I used to be there. I want to blame. I want to blame. For what? I'm gonna blame myself
Mhm.
and see why that didn't work, and then let's start again, and let's do it again. If it doesn't work, it didn't mean for me to do it at that time. Maybe it's for later years,
Yeah.
and I'm perfectly fine with it.
Mhm.
Man, thank you for being in the show. It's not gonna be the first time. We're gonna have more and different next time. We can be standing up. Maybe 3 or 4 people have another franchisee owner of Hotworx and just
Mhm.
kind of like a round table talking about how can you learn from him, can you learn from there. Maybe I'll bring another video guy,
Mhm.
just a discussion and things because people want to hear that.
Okay.
We
Well.
we see all these podcasts and they're all the time, and I was like, I want to turn
Mhm.
it out that it's live, but it's just not boring. That we're actually implementing things that we're going through our lives and that happens, and that some other ones can be laugh, entertainment, real. That's what it's called H-Town Unplugged because it's real, it's unfiltered. Want to make sure that whoever is here, if there is an owner, if there is a taco stand, or there's somebody that want to make you laugh, that you're out there, and that knowing that I'm growing this locally because I want to help create a lot of business owners to know that they can have be a part of something, but they're locally. And I'm not worrying about Austin, Dallas, none of that. It's like if I can worry about how can I implement what I know and the knowledge and the stuff about live streaming and implement and help small mom and pops or mini mom and pops that they not that they're afraid of being in a and being on a live stream or any kind of video, but that they have a house that be like, okay, oh man, I can support, I can bring my wings and eat them and talk about them and enjoy and drink tequila, and then later on when I start making money out of of this plus YouTube brands and sponsors, then I can go out there to the mom and pop and be like, hey, you know what? I want to buy you out for 5 hours,
Hmm.
and then from those 5 hours build other people to come in and try their food. They don't have to worry about it. It's already been paid. The 3 or 5 plates that are the best of the plates that they sell, they're bought out from me for 5 hours. Come and try them out, so we can help them, and the other people in Houston can be like, oh man, shit,
Hmm.
this is good. I never know that they were here.
Yeah.
That's what I did it for.
Hmm.
Because I seen other people do this, not in Houston, but other places, and I'm like, why not here?
Hmm.
Why not now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why I started it, and I know it's gonna happen.
Hmm.
Because in my mindset is I started something consistently.
Yep.
There's no way.
Consistency.
There's no way that I'm stopping,
Hmm.
and I'm loving it. It's just I always say now it's just part of me.
Hmm. That's
It's
good.
just part of me. Thank you, brother. Thank you,
No,
brother,
thank
for
you for
being
having
here.
me.
And
Appreciate it.
like I said, it's just the beginning. And oh yeah, and I know we're finishing up. I know we talked about this later on. I have some little the so they can go try out. I want people here. I already talked to them about
Hmm.
Hotworx, and some of the ladies are like, "Oh, Hotworx, I know try." And I said, "Hey, I can ask. I'm gonna have them on Saturday. Said Napo, and maybe have some little so they can go and try it out."
Yeah. So if you want to check out Hotworks, well, there's a bunch all over the world right now.
Ah,
So the
yes,
simplest thing is go to hotworks.net, find a location, and go to your nearest one. First workout is free. Check it out. It's great. You'll love it.
you love it.
Mhm.
But for the ones that he owns, you want to go try it. Richmond,
Yes. So
Aliana,
Richmond, Aliana, Katie Green, and also Katie Fulsher.
Katie
So,
Fusher.
but just to make it easier for you guys, hotworks.net. Find your location. Most of you guys are gonna be here in Houston anyway. You'll find
Yeah,
us.
oh yeah, definitely. And any questions that you have and you want to ask me, and then I just can connect you with him, and for either partnership or anything, that's why we're here to connect, build relationship. Who knows what you can grow with him in
All
the
right.
long future. Thank you guys and blessings, and I see you on the next Saturday at 4 p.m. Because next Saturday I'm bringing a tattoo artist. So I've been knowing her for a couple of years. She's amazing. She's locally in Houston. And I asked her last week, and she's excited to be here. And she's nervous of being in camera.
Mhm.
But I mean, I don't have any tattoos, but I know there's a lot of people that like to do tattoos and or they want something. Then I can bring you somebody that I trust and like, and that she'll do something good for you guys. And then just keep it up. I'm gonna be putting out there more people for October. I know I got another. My business partner from the podcast is gonna be at the beginning of October. The owners of Vive, a juice shop. I'm telling you, I'm already working on it. So I want to make sure that this whole 4 months, I'm gonna be sitting here with all kind of different locally owners that you can know and where they at, and we're gonna try whatever they have. If they're business owners, if there's tacos or whatever, so you can see that we're here authentically. Locally helping them as well. Thank you guys and much love. Because I gotta take another shot and I gotta go and eat some pozole because I gotta keep on going on my birthday. And then let's see whether the wind takes me.
All right. Thank
Blessings,
you.
guys. He was gonna chop me.